All right, how we doing today? Everybody good? I apologize. I got to apologize to Sid. I forgot. I was up the hill talking to family. It's a good thing she's got a golf cart so she could grab me. Hope I didn't hold everybody up too long. Listen, I'm just going to open it up. That's one of those 10-10-10 practices that are painful for a defensive coach because it's hard to simulate a look. It's painful. I'm not being honest with you. But listen, it's tough on those young offensive guys that don't really know yet how to operate as a look squad. But so we got a little bit of work done, and with that, I'll open it up. I'll bet. I didn't even think of that, but you're probably right.
Coach, Steve, are there any guys, young guys, or veterans for that matter, particularly eager to see in the game on your Saturday night?
Well, Colin Saunders, because he missed a lot of, he had the elbow, so it'd be good to get him up and going again. Then we going through the Rolodex. Obviously, all the young guys, but Colin sticks out. One, because he dealt with it's really, you want to see if those guys are back. Those would be the guys that would stick out to me, and obviously the young guys that we don't know anything about.
I'm curious, Coach.
Follow up. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask about Kevin Key in particular.
Yeah.
Is that a guy just because he's where he come from?
Yeah. I think I talked about Dev before. I think he's done a heck of a job from the mental part of it, and we've actually added on to him because we think he's got that part of football, which is chin to the hairline. What we don't know is in the heat of the battle, and so we're going to find out a little bit of that in the game. But so far, he's functioned pretty well, and we're happy with that.
Going into week 3 of training camp, is there anything that you've seen that you're not happy with that you hope kind of gets cleaned up prior to Saturday's game, or are you about where you expect it to be right now in camp?
The thing that's always hard, obviously, is I don't know where we are tackling. Now, the coaches do a great job, as best we can, at simulating. Now, where I'm going is, when we put the pads on, Coach Reed allows us to what we call wrap and release. I mean, the thing that doesn't get used here in training camp anymore, because we don't go live, is defensive arms. Then you go out to these first games, and everybody's doing what I call block tackling, which I don't like. It's like a swear word. That, to me, I'm really going to be looking for that, and I'm going to be looking for the operation between whistle and snap. Not snap to whistle as much. I mean, the coaches will take care of that. But I'm looking for operation and how guys function. I think that's important.
And then from what you're able to do in practice, how are you feeling about the players in their form tackling to make sure that, when the game comes?
What are we doing?
Yeah, or do you feel like you're working enough with the form?
Yeah, I mean, I think our guys are buying into it, and in the opportunities where we can do it on offensive players without hurting anybody, because we don't want those kind of collisions. We're as far along with that as we can be. No, that's what I would say.
Steve, I want to ask you about Travers Ward. Where is he mentally? I know last year with the hand injury, he talked about he struggled a little bit mentally with having some confidence. Where is he right now?
My guess is he's well past the hand injury. I mean, he came on after that. He's been practicing really well. Feels real comfortable in the system. I think he works really good with that whole unit.
What did you see from Colin Saunders? You mentioned he's a guy you're eager to see in the game. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, Brendan Daly mentioned this the other day in our staff meeting, that he has stacked a bunch of days together where he's been really good. Early on, it was the drill work looked really good, but it wasn't transferring to some of our teamwork here. But that seems to be coming, and hopefully that'll happen as we go, and it'll be good to get in a game where we hit somebody for real,
Mitch, the one-on-one drills, I don't know how much you've been able to watch it, but just seeing
DB wide receiver.
Yeah, DB
Yeah,
wide
yeah.
receiver. Yeah. How much you've been able to watch this? Who's kind of stood out in those that you've seen this year?
Yeah, I watch those. Yeah, I watch those every day. Listen, that's my background, or my main background, and so I'm always in the air of the corners or the safeties, whoever's in the one-on-ones. Listen, the competition out here is tremendous. And Tyreek Hill is jabbing at whoever, and and we're jabbing back, and I think that's great. That's one of my favorite drills, and I usually spend the early part of the morning when everybody's sleeping to watch those, and then I give the guys a little wrinkle.
Coach, I have two players to ask you about. First, Mike Dana looks like he has taken some kind of step forward. What have you seen early on from him?
Yeah, Mike Dana is one of my favorite guys and was from the beginning because of the way. Look at he was a young guy, came in as rookie, and after a month you'd have thought he was a 10-year veteran. The way he operated, the way he functioned around the building, the way he practices. when Coach Daly gives him something to work on, he takes that right into whatever game we can play in terms of thud. But he's been terrific.
And then Rashad, it seems like you've really thrown him into the fire for
Yeah.
a lot of different looks. Do you feel like he's a real possibility for that outside spot?
Well, yeah. I mean, look at this. 3 guys there competing right now. He's one of them, but Rashad brings on the added responsibility of being a nickel because we got to have backups and whatnot ready to go. So far so good. I'm really anxious to see him out there. What is it? Saturday night that we play? Saturday.
As a former head coach now at DC, when you see the first, with the new offensive line in your front line with Chris Jones and Frank Clark, what are you seeing with this new offensive line that you can talk about? Because I'm a big believer in iron sharpening iron.
Yeah.
With them pushing one another, it should make them better for the regular season when they're facing.
That's a great point. I mean, I talked with Andy Heck a number of times. I'm always asking, how are you guys doing? He loves the way they're coming together, but that'll just make us better. I've heard our D-line make comments about these offensive linemen. It's been all positive. So to me, just like you said, iron sharpens irons, right? Proverbs 27:17, right? I mean, it helps us all get better, and I'm really happy for the offense and Patrick that we got that crew, and I think it helps us too. A lot of competition. The one-on-ones with those guys are terrific. I watch those too. I don't just watch these skilled guys. But
You mentioned the young guys. What is your message to the young guys when you know you are approaching the first preseason game, and then you've got 3 more Tuesdays where you got to set that roster?
The biggest thing I tell them, and I've said this every year, is that when they go into this game, don't abort everything that you learned here. That's what happens with the young. They'll forget all of the leverage and set the edge and all the things that we've taught them and they've gotten really good at. They go out there and all of a sudden it's a game, and sometimes they can go off the radar a little bit. So to me, I tell them to stick to the fundamentals they've been learning, and then we'll build on it. Don't abort what you've done here in the past couple weeks.
Nick Bolton, I think with the injuries of linebackers, has probably gotten a little bit more reps than maybe you were anticipating. Has that helped his
That'd be a true statement.
Does that look like he's going to be good?
Yeah, and he's handled it real well. We've talked about Mike Dana, we've talked about Devin Key, but I think Nick has handled that real well. I think that I watched the other guys around, the other vets, and they seem to be taking to Nick like they respect his work for the reasons you're bringing up. He's getting a lot more reps in a lot of different positions. I exhausted everybody, right?